Bobby, congrats on a big day for the organization. And let's start there because you made this announcement together with Scottie and IQ on the same stage under the banner Future Starts Now with some of your young guys in the crowd. Why was that so important to you guys as an organization?
Yeah, no, I think it's sort of symbolic, but also what we saw towards the end of the season. I think Scottie had a really positive season in the growth from his second year. He's an all-star at the age of 22, which I think is really important. And then Quickley had been somebody that we've targeted for a while, and so obviously it's tough to move on from some of the veterans. But sort of that lead guard, seeing the scoring, seeing him pair with Scottie, to us was really positive. I think it was unfortunate there, as we all saw, there's a couple of personal circumstances that didn't let that group play a ton together. But I think also sort of what Masai alluded to, like we got to really know them as people. And as humans, and I think that's also what we're betting on.
So to that point, they only played 25 games together. What is it that you guys saw during that short time that, I guess, reinforced some of the things that you imagined when you made the trade, and then excited you guys about what those two can grow into together as a duo?
Yeah, I think when you see Immanuel, when he comes out and he's assertive and he's attacking and he's scoring, I think that opens it up. And I think, as you know, whether Scottie's handling the ball or he's coming off the pick and roll as a secondary attacker in the offense, I think that dynamic has a chance to be really good. And so then now you're surrounding him with RJ and Jakob and Grady's and guys off the bench. And so now you're starting to see, like, okay, who are the cutters, who are the attackers, who can get to the rim. Obviously you need bigs back there. And so I think that's what we saw with sort of the two-man game between Quick and Scottie.
It's possible those two could be making, you know this more than I would, but like nearly 50% of the cap in a couple of years from now. Obviously, the cap is going to continue to go up, but with the restrictions of the new CBA, what are some of the challenges in building a team around two guys that you just committed $400 million to provide?
That's not actually that big of an issue under the new CBA. I think with the new TV money, the cap will be going up at 10%. Annually. Quick's contract we actually did flat, so there's some other things. I think probably the bigger strategic question long term is who do we add to that and how much can you add to it. But I think those two on their own, as long as they're sort of who we think they are, I think we'll be okay.
So to that point, in terms of team building, I mean, one of the things that you've talked a lot about recently is restocking the development pipeline, and you've certainly done that with the 4 draftees and the trade with Sacramento, an exciting summer league team that you guys have put together here. It's been pretty busy. How much more work do you have to do in terms of shaping this roster going into training camp?
There's not a ton left. I think what you said, we did a lot of work on draft night. Having that flexibility in the Sacramento deal got us additional draft picks, which is sort of what you alluded to. And so I think there's not a ton. There's obviously going to be trade speculation as we continue over the course of the summer league. But I think most of our work was done on draft night via the draft and in those trades.
Trent Jr. is a guy who's still out there as of now, remains unsigned. Is he somebody that you guys are still in contact with, or are you guys still open to potentially bringing him back if the deal makes sense?
So a lot of the flexibility, I think, was eaten up sort of in the Sacramento deal, and that wasn't anything other than we got draft picks and we got young players. Obviously, we're in contact with Gary. We have a good relationship with them. We'll probably talk with them, here when we get out to Vegas. So yeah.